Hello, we're back. Sorry about that. Seems like my internet connection just decided to go out for no apparent reason. Let me see if it's working here. Nope. So right now I just switched over to my phone. It's gonna take me a while, or it's gonna be a challenge for me to read comments. So bear with me there, guys. Whoops. Whoop. Nope. Don't want to do that. Yeah, the internet is not working again, so I'm gonna probably miss a lot of comments, but if you got questions as to what I'm doing, I'm gonna try my best to capture all of it, but right now I don't even see the chat. Where is it? Live chat. There it is. Okay, so what did I do? Making a bag, continuing on. I am making a bag. I want to make sure that the bag is going to be tall enough. And who knows, I could be right. I think it'll be okay. And then I can do that. Well, no, I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I do need a piece to go up here at the top. So I measured it. Like I said, this is just a test. I did measure it and measure it wrong, in fact. So this ornament, I mean, it'll fit inside, but I need to make the top part a little bit more, a little taller, just in case I embellish the top with ribbons and such. So here's what I am going to do. I'm going to make the top instead the same size as the bottom. So 4.5. So I am, was this the piece? Yep. So I'm going to add in another, what is this, 2.5? Nope, another 4 inches. Okay. This is the reason why I chose to do this with the undesirable fabrics. Okay, where did my chat go? I could add another green piece. That's an option. That's definitely an option. Actually, that is a good option. Huh. Thank you for that. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, but I chopped up my green fabric. But since I already got this cut, I'm just going to add it on. Yeah. That 1/2 inch seam allowance kind of threw me for a loop. So if you want to do a 1/4 inch, you're by all means welcome to do so. You're just going to have to measure, play around with your measurements, but I'm doing a 1/2 inch. Of course, as soon as I say that, I line up the fabrics on the machine to the 1/4 inch and have to correct myself. Okay, so for those of you who are coming in, welcome back again. I am sorry, my internet connection just went out, and it doesn't seem to be coming back right now. So, yep, no internet. Oh gosh, darn it. So I think the internet company just went kaput. So let me see what's going on. Don't run away like that. Sorry, Donna. Hey, Cheryl. Glad you caught these third try. And I don't have another device, so I'm just having to read the chat on my phone here, guys. So sorry, I kind of scroll up and down here. Okay, hopefully nobody asked me a question that I missed. If I did miss it, I'm sorry. Okay, where am I with this? So I'm adding another strip here. Our internet always goes out when watching movies. Isn't that the most irritating thing, Jim? It's like you're in the middle of some action sequence, and then all of a sudden your internet goes out. It's like a cliffhanger that's unintended. I just hate that. Okay, so now this should be big enough. It looks a little weird with the same right there, but yeah, this is just a test run again. So I can deconstruct this and do it all over. Okay, got my makeshift ornament. Okay, so now this is definitely big enough. Might want to cut it down just a little bit. Just a little, no, wrong song. Just the two of us. You know what? I think a bigger bag might end up being bigger, of course a bigger bag is going to end up being bigger. Hello. A bigger bag might end up being better, because if I put some fancy ribbons on top and all of that, you don't want to necessarily smash all of that. So I think this bag size, or this size of bag, it's good. So let's see, how big is this panel need to be? So I got a 5.5. Okay, so the bottom, this was an 8-inch by 4-inch. Did I say 8-inch by 4.5? So 8 inches by 4.5. Here's my 2.5-inch strip. That is this green piece. Let me flip it inside out for a second so you can kind of see it better. Using my finger to poke out the corners for a second. Just temporarily. Okay, so bottom strip was 8 inches by 4.5. This green strip here in the middle, 8 inches by 2.5. And this top portion is going to be 8 inches by 5. So I think those are the final dimensions I'm going to go with. And if it's still too big, I'm going to hack it off. So, and of course you cut 2 pieces each of those. Then again, when I get this video, well, now that it's broken, I'll have to put the dimensions on somewhere. But anyway, or maybe I'll just do a full tutorial on how to do this. Now to cut the lining, I need then an 8-inch by, this is now 10.5. So I'm going to cut it 8 inches by 10.5 times 2, 21. Wait, what is 10.5 plus 10.5? 10, 20, yeah, 21. So just gonna cut the lining. Where did my lining fabric go? I pulled it and now it disappeared. Oh, there it is. I'm just gonna use this because I have a lot of it and I haven't used it in a while. So this is a pink, or not pink, hello, purple. Purple. Hey Vera. I see ya. Sorry, let me just scroll back to the chat to see if anybody had a question. Hello, Miss Irish Sail Lady. Just got up from a long nap, been busy at work and was tired. Hubby made dinner and bless his heart. Aw, he tried to be chef of the future. He burned the red sauce. Oh no. Well, at least you got to give him credit for trying, right? He tried. You could turn those half-inch seams into French seams and eliminate the lining. I could do that. I could. In fact, well, have you rebooted your modem and is it hooked onto a telephone line? If so, unplug it and let it reboot. Right now, I'm not going to reboot it because it's in another room and it's hard to actually get to. So we'll reboot it later. And that also means then I have to reconnect all separate devices with it. So I'm not going to bother with that. But yes, I do. When this does happen, I do need to reboot the modem, unfortunately. Why half-inch seams? Will it be unlined? No, it is going to be lined, Diane. I'm just doing a half-inch seam because I kind of feel like a quarter-inch seam on this particular bag. If it's going to be opened, closed constantly, and I might be, I just want to make sure that the bag doesn't fall apart and there's a stronger seam in there. So that's why I'm doing a half-inch. You could do a quarter-inch if you're making this bag. I just want to make sure, again, I know that this bag is going to get ruffled and tuffled and tossed around, so I just want to make sure that it doesn't fall apart. On the sample here, on this bag, I know I used a half-inch seam, so, and I've had this bag for, what, 6 years or so, and still hasn't fallen apart yet, so I figure this half-inch seam is good. But again, that's your choice if you want to do a quarter-inch seam. I'm not the sewing police here. 8.5 inches. So let's do 8.5. And I am not being exact about this. I'm kind of approximating a little bit. Sorry, I'm going to move the camera here a little bit. Oh. Let's shift. Whoa, wrong way. Sorry, I know you can see the pole there. It might be irritating, but just bear with me for a minute while I cut this fabric. 8.5. No, 8 inches. Wait, what did I say? 8 inches. Yeah. 8 inches. Toss that aside. And then I need, I said 21, but half of 21 is 10.5. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut it here. Put that aside. I can put the big ruler down. Okay. And I can move the camera now. Wrong way. Okay. 8.5 by 21. Yep, that's right, Donna. Got it. So Kelly Quilts and Cruises says, I'm still working on Valentine's projects. You mean Valentine's from last year or this year? So instead of, you could cut two 8-inch by 10.5-inch pieces, but instead I'm actually just gonna, I just cut one 8-inch by 21-inch long piece, and I'm just gonna sew my seam allowance on here. That way I don't have to sew this bottom seam. This is where the fold is. I can just fold it in half. And let's go. Cut that. And we do the other side. So there I sewed this side, I sewed this side, and I got the fold up here. And I can trim the seam allowance here at the corners just to get rid of the excess bulk at the corner. I can flip this inside out. Now, and I will poke my corners out just using my finger. There we go. There's my lining, my makeshift lining. Where did I put the bag? No. There we go. And I will cut or trim my corners here. Nana Mona is asking what kind of thread. Oh, where did the chat go? What kind of thread do you use in your machine? Which ones do you like? Right now, I'm just using an Aurifil 50 or Aurifil 50 weight. I don't really particularly like it in combination with this machine here because it tends to break on me a lot if I go at a high speed. But I'm just using it because I have two combs, two huge combs of thread of it, and I just want to use it up. I haven't found a really good thread that I like in combination with this machine. I haven't actually experimented with a lot of them either, so I guess I don't really have an opinion on thread. To me, thread is thread. As long as it holds the garment, I'm fine with it. But if it starts breaking on me, if it starts to just not perform very well, then of course I will consider other threads. But yeah, I mean, Aurifil tends to work on some machines, not on high-speed machines. I will say that. What am I doing? Okay, so the lining I turned inside out. This is, okay, so I gotta actually finish the top part of this. So I'm gonna resew, flip this out. Flip this back around. So I'm gonna leave a gap So here's the bottom of the bag. I'm gonna leave a gap about a half an inch or so at the top so that I can insert my little drawstrings there. So I'm gonna sew down a little bit, back stitch, and leave a gap, and then I need to sew the rest of this side up. Got that. Got that. I'm gonna cut this off, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Cut my thread. I trim my thread there and there. So let me be a little bit more exact and start. Let me mark it. How far did I go down? There. So I'm gonna stop at about. Huh? Okay. So I sewed down about an inch from the top on the side. I'm gonna do the same thing from here, and then I left about an inch. Yeah, just about an inch gap. Again, that's just for making sure that I got the space to thread the drawstrings with. Let me mark it. So measuring down about an inch there and an inch there. I'm gonna, yep. Did I just sew? Yep, I sewed it right through. Oh, darn. Doo-doo-doo. I need to rip some stitches because I didn't sewed right through the gap. Oh boy. Need to bust out Jack for the moment to help me get these stitches out because I marked it here and here and I ended up sewing right through it. Not paying attention. So we're gonna rip. And I'm just gonna re-sew part of it. Just kind of secure it down there. Got it. What time is it? Oh, okay. I'm gonna go for 15 more minutes, and I know it's late for a lot of you. Let's see, where did I leave off? I'm using an industrial Juki machine, so it sews at about 5,000 stitches a minute. And when you go at that high speed, you do need a very durable thread. And again, the Aurifil 50 weight just doesn't hold up when I put it at the maximum speed. Not that I sew at the maximum speed all the time, but it just makes it a little bit more frustrating when you sew at a higher speed and that thread just kind of snaps on you. So yeah, it's not a horrible thread, but in combination with the high speed machine, it's not the best thread either. So my machine likes Mettler over Aurifil. Yep. So every machine is going to be different. It likes what it likes. I have to say goodnight. Been a long day. Okay, good night, Debbie. She's probably gone by now. I can use Mettler successfully too, but Elna doesn't like mine Aurifil either. Yep. These machines can get very picky. Okay, so got my lining. I'm gonna insert the outside, right side out. No, this is supposed to, wait, how does this go? So when I put it right sides together, yeah. Is that right? Turning this out, and then I'm supposed to put this. Am I doing this right? Yeah, I think so. We'll find out. I make the mistake so you don't have to. Okay, so I got my outer layer inside on the lining, right sides together. I'm going to sew the top the majority of the way around, but I'm actually going to leave an opening here at the top so I can turn the bag inside out and put it right side, or turn the bag. Let's see, my long arm likes 100% long staple Egyptian cotton thread. Very finicky, yep. Long arms is a totally different ball game, I will say that. And that's how I actually learned about thread and the differences in thread, believe it or not, because the long arms, I mean, if you think your domestic sewing machine is picky about thread, try using a long arm. You would think I would know how to make a bag. I've made a few of them in my day. Okay, where did I start? Oh, okay, so I think I'll switch here. Hello, Miss Debbie. Glad you made it. I'm glad you found me tonight. So now I left an opening right here at the top so that I can turn all of this inside out or right side out. Make sure that the bag is the right way now. And I think I left too small of an opening because I seem to be having, I always have problems trying to turn stuff inside out or right side out like this, but okay, now it's coming. Now it's coming. Okay, come on, come on, come on. You know, one thing, if you haven't noticed, one thing I haven't been doing with this bag, I haven't been pressing my seams. So I'm gonna, but then again, this is just a test run. So, okay, now that we got the lining out, just make sure that my corners are punched out. And I am gonna tuck the lining back inside the bag. Okay, so when I make my actual bag, I'm going to actually be pressing the seams as I go and not just finger pressing it along, because I think that'll help a lot. And where did I leave the opening? Yeah, found the opening right there. Okay, so there's my bag, sort of. I just need to, I'm going to just do this later because I know it's getting late. So I'm going to top stitch here at the top, and then I need to insert the drawstrings in the openings that I left on the side there, a very small opening. But other than that, I think this works. Let's see. Yep, the ornament will fit in there nice. And I have some extra room in there just in case I put some fancy decorations and embellishments on there. So I think I got my dimensions. So there's the bag. And I'm actually going to use this bag for something. I don't know what, but for something. Of course, I'm not going to use this bag to give the actual gifts away, but this was just my prototype, my test run. I might tweak a few adjustments here and there, but it works. All right, people. Let's see. If I didn't answer a question or if I missed your question, please put it in the chat again. As I scroll through, is it padded? No, Jackie, it is not padded. If I do add something like batting or maybe even Bosal foam, that's going to add to the thickness to it, in which I don't necessarily want to do that. Then that just plays around with the dimensions. So yeah, I kind of actively decided not to do that. But you could do it. Just make sure that, again, it's going to add thickness to it. So if you are planning on using this bag as, for example, the packaging on a gift, I'm going to be using it as an ornament, then I will have to then factor in that thickness and try and experiment again with my measurements of how long and how tall I want this my strips need to be. So hope that made sense. Well, thank you, Kelly Quilts and Cruises. She says she likes it. Good job. And Kitty Rupert says nice. Well, thank you guys. Turned out great. Thank you, Nana. And Carissa's waving hello, hello. Kelly Quilts and Cruises says good night. Good night, Kelly. Barbara McKinley is asking, do you use paracord to tie it with, Eric? If so, what size? I'm not sure what paracord is. For the drawstrings, I usually just use cord or even sometimes ribbon, in which I will, like on this bag, I used this little ribbon here, and it's just going to draw shut. And of course you can open it. So sometimes I will use ribbon, sometimes I use cord. It just depends on what I have available next to me. I think I ran out of that ribbon, so I might be using that cord. Okay, Jim says, look good. Thank you, Jim. Good night, Kelly. If I haven't said good night to you, I'm sorry. Don't forget to drop the dimensions later. I will do that, Donna. If you top stitch over the seam, you might get away with a 1/4 inch seam. Yep, actually, yeah, I'm probably gonna do like a 1/4 inch top stitch here, but I do. Oh, one thing I should mention is I normally, when I do a drawstring bag like this, I do wherever that opening is on the sides here, I kind of do a stitch on top of that opening as well as a stitch on the bottom. I think they call it a channel. That kind of creates it or makes it so that the cord or whatever you're using doesn't fall down, doesn't fall up. So at least that's what I was taught, or that's how I was taught. So I just kind of kept doing that. Okay, nothing like showing up late to the party. Well, Sheila, we had a little bit of technical issues here, so maybe you're right on time. But I'm about to wrap it up here tonight. Paracord is the shoot cord. Oh, you mean like that rope material? Not really. I've never found any. I mean, you could use it. It's just a matter of preference. I've never personally used it though. Padding would be good for ornaments and protection with storage. That's true. That is true there, Gal. So I might consider that. But then again, if I do use something like batting, I would quilt it and I wouldn't necessarily put a lining in there. I would just kind of press the seam open on the side and be done with it, because I wouldn't necessarily have a lining or even deal with the lining with that. We'll see. Maybe I'll make another version of this bag. Cute bag. Don't think those cute wreaths will fit in there though. We'll make it fit there, DJ or Debbie. Good night. Good night, Kim. Thanks for hanging in there. All right, guys. And Donna Hoskins says, I'm going to make larger ones for my blanket donations. There's a thought. All right. I'm going to say good night to everybody. I'm going to just, at least I got the dimensions on here. So somehow I will post my final dimensions. I might tweak the dimensions and the supplies a little bit as soon as I get this one complete. And I want to make sure that I have an actual ornament that I'm going to send, just to make sure it will fit in here comfortably. Because, well, you see me use this, but this is actually a little bit bigger than a 3-inch. And it also doesn't have all the embellishments that I normally put on the top of the ornament. So, yeah, we'll see how or when I kind of get settled in and figure it all out, maybe I'll just do a full edited video tutorial or something, or maybe I'll just record kind of like we'll see. Somehow I'll get the dimensions out to you. So, all right, people, thank you so much for your patience and your understanding. I bid you a good week. Stay warm for most of you out there, and y'all know what I'm gonna say. So, let's go out there and create something. Bye for now.